into this. I want to start with something most people never hear, and that's the fact that most people don't have a sales problem, they have a clarity problem. By the grace of God, this week, I barely even post on any of my social media platforms, and we were able to collect $60,000. So, what you saw in the thumbnail of this video is 100% accurate. It's not clickbait or anything like that. Of course, I don't have the physical check anymore because we deposited, because a check is just paper and it's not real funds until you put it out to work for you. And I'll talk about that here near the end. Um, so the one thing that I would try to impart on anybody out there that's interested in being able to leave their job one day, being able to make an above average amount of money one day once they leave their job, if you could only learn one skill, what would that skill be? That skill would be sales, right? So I will talk to you guys tonight based off of everything that I know that I believe can help you out as it pertains to learning how to sell more, because obviously I believe everything in your life is sales. All right. This is gonna annoy me. I got this little, we used to call these Irish pennants in the military. So y'all gotta bear with me for a second. I gotta get it gone. Do I have scissors? And of course I don't have any scissors at this office, and I got a gazillion scissors at the other office. Oh well, we're not gonna worry about it. So as we go through this process, just like always, drop your questions in the chat and we'll talk about everything as it comes up. Tonight, my entire job is to make sales feel simple again for anybody out there that does not have daily sales come into their business. So just so I can kind of gauge the audience here, if you have your own business, drop a one in the chat. If you do not have your own business, drop a two in the chat so I can kind of know, am I talking to people that have a business or people that want to start a business? As you guys do that, I'm going to continue with the conversation just to kind of keep the flow going. So sales isn't broken. The idea of sales isn't broken, but your approach may be. So I didn't fix my income by getting more followers on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, or whatever, right? Running better ads, becoming smoother on camera. I fixed it by making sales repeatable. All right. So one thing that I've been doing a lot this week is talking with my friends that have a multitude of businesses. One of my friends has a pest control company in Memphis, Tennessee. Another one of my friends has a home repair business in Atlanta, Georgia. Another one of my friends has an appliance repair business in Columbia, South Carolina. Another one of my friends has an e-commerce brand, which means they exist everywhere. But he's out of the Carolinas as well, does 7 figures a year. And what I want you to know is that you have a relatable pain. I know what it feels like as well as they know what it feels like to go days with zero sales, be busy but unpaid, know your offer is good but still struggle to sell it. That isn't laziness, that's confusion. All right. And confusion kills more sales than prices ever will. All right. So I didn't win because I was special. Don't want you guys to think that you got to be a superhero in sales to make any amount of money. All right. I won because I stopped guessing. And the moment I simplified sales, everything changed. I stopped trying to sound impressive. I stopped trying to persuade. I focused on daily sales action I could repeat. There's a great book that is called the $1,000,000 Sales System, or $1,000,000. I'll put it down in the comment section, the exact name of the book. I'm listening to it on Audible, and it's a great book. What I will tell you is that every business out there, whether you are thinking about starting a business or if you're already in business, you can have sales consistency. Sales consistency may look different depending on what kind of business you're in. So if you're doing something digital or in e-commerce, you should have sales coming in every single day, right? That's just the norm. If you are doing something online and let's say you're running ads to it as well, well, if you're just doing low ticket, mid ticket offers, for every dollar you spend, you should make $3 to $5 back. If not, there's something in your system that needs to be fixed. But don't want to go deep into that in this conversation. If you have something that's a high ticket offer, usually something that's $2,000 or greater, right? For every dollar that you spend in ads, you should be making $7 back, right? These are the kind of things that I want you to hear out loud. Think about, I'm not going to ask anybody to share this, right? Or I'll use myself as an example if I got any cash on me. So imagine if you knew, and this is just what the averages are. Are there people below average? Yes. Are there people above and below average? You can find people on any side of the spectrum. So I don't have a lot of money here, but I have, give me a second. I got $400 here, right? So if you're somebody out there that wants to know what's one proven thing that you can learn, and this will put you in position to be able to quit that job or make a ton of money in your business if you've already decided to quit that job. That one thing is sales. Sales alone has allowed me to have a 60K week this week. And what I want to break down to you guys is, one, I want you to have the confidence to do it, because the old JT Hustles, if you remember when we used to go by that, JT Hustles will just come here with tactics. Go do this. Go do that. Do this. Right? And then what I've learned as I matured as an entrepreneur over the years is that tactics without belief is just a motivational speech. I'm going to say that again. Tactics without belief is just a motivational speech. So if I came to you guys and just was like, yo, hey, tactically, let's set up your Meta Business Manager. Let's break down how if you got low to mid ticket sales, nothing that's $2,000 or more, for every dollar that you spend, you should make $3 to $5. That means that if I take these $400 and I know what I'm doing, everything is predicated on you knowing what you're doing. Any excuse me, anything that can make you a lot of money can cost you a lot of money, right? So if you don't know what you're doing, you can take this $400, give it to Mark Zuckerberg, and you just gave Mark Zuckerberg $400 more, right? He's not even going to notice you gave him $400, but you're going to notice that that money has left your bank account, right? But if you do know what you're doing and you have low ticket sales, all right, or low ticket products in your product suite, that $400, I'm breaking out the airborne, you guys. If you know, you know. Got a little cough on me as the weather don't know what it's going to do in the Carolinas. That $400 should come back $1,200 or $1,500. How much money would you spend if you knew that for every dollar you spent, you would make $3 to $5 back? I see we got a mixed audience tonight. Some of you all said that you do have a business. Some of you all said you don't. Right? Talk to me. What about pest control, home improvement, ROI, and Facebook? Yeah, you should still do it. The data says that on average, averages assume that you know what you're doing, but you're not an expert, right? The average person that knows what they're doing in any business, if you're running paid ads, for every dollar that you spend, you should make $3 to $5 back, right? $3 to $5 back. If you have a high ticket offer, which means that you sell at least one item that's $2,000 or more, then the data says that you should make $7 back, right? So if you wonder why do all of these people have these $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 offers, right? It's because if they're turning on ads, I know people that spend $400,000 a month on ads, right? So if you got a high ticket offer and you know what you're doing, you're going to make 7x return, right, on that, then 400,000, 4 times 7 is how much money that they make, right? So killing it. Now, ads are not linear and ads don't last for forever. So your ads can get stale, they can get burned out. You might have to switch them out as well. Why are we talking so much about paid ads tonight, right? So paid ads is the fastest way to get you profitable, but of course, there's pros and cons of everything. right? Is 997 considered high ticket? No. Now high ticket starts at $2,000 on up. Right. And I didn't make that up. That's just what the data says. So there's big companies out there that collect data, like OpenAI, which is ChatGPT, like Google, which owns a whole bunch of other stuff. Right. So these big companies, they have the aggregated data of millions of people worldwide. And then they, provide this data as well. Right. So um we're talking about paid ads because if I was somebody that was trying to make money quickly, right, I would start there. All right. How much should I start with ads? Great questions. If you guys got questions, drop your questions. How much should I start with paid ads? You should start with at least $100 a day. All right. As somebody who I'm telling you guys, we are about to start spending. Our goal in 2026 and beyond is to spend no less than $1,000 a day in ads, right? 30,000 a month, $360,000 a year in ads, right? One, because as of this recording, I don't want to date it, it could change. But once you start spending over $250,000 in ads, you get treated a little bit better just by the platform itself, right? Now, are you going to find some people that are going to say, we could spend $5, you could spend $10, you could spend whatever, right? Truth be told, you'll find some people that will teach you that way or will show you that way, and you might make some sales. Realistically, are your sales going to be consistent? No. Realistically, if you're selling something that is not cheap, like, I mean, cheap, are you going to be profitable? No. Because think about it, right? Just because you spend $5 a day in ads, you might still have to keep them ads on for 30 days. You spend $150 and you sell a $50 thing. So yeah, you made a sale running $5 a day ads, but did you turn a profit? So that's the thing that we got to understand. It's a difference between somebody telling you you could start with $5 and $10 a day and sell stuff, but if you got to spend $10 a day for 30 days, that's $300, and you make two sales, but you selling an ebook for $9.99, $10 ebook, right? Yeah, technically, you're right. You could make a sale, but does it make sense, right? So what I want to talk to you guys about tonight, and that's why I'm like $100 a day is just really just being honest with you. Here's the beauty of ads though, right? I'm gonna use this as a prop because this is all I got, right? So here's how ads work. Some people that are not the right people are gonna say $100 a day, $30 30 days in a month at $3,000 in ads. I ain't got $3,000 in ads. Great. Here's what multimillionaires do that you may not have known. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. They spend $100 today in ads. Today is Saturday, right? Boom. Let's say that $100 makes them back 60 bucks. It's a brand new campaign. They're testing out the ads. They're learning, blah, 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 right? So they're down 40 so far. They spent 100. All right, they made 60. We're going to put that 60 down, right? All right, day two comes by. They optimize, they tweak, they do blah, 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 blah. They spend another 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. They spend 100, right? This time, they kind of got it down pat. Now, in actuality, because I'm shortening this up, right? You can use Facebook's AI and let Facebook's AI figure all of this out for you. That's how it works in the real world, right? So, but just for simplicity's sake, boom, they figure out what they're doing. Facebook AI doesn't find out in 2 days, but it usually can find out in 3 to 5 days. As of right now, I don't own Facebook, so I can't tell you. Somebody gonna watch this and be like, I've been running ads for 5 days and it hasn't figured out yet, right? Either you just have a bad ad and a bad offer, or you've been changing things, or the algorithm changed, right? But I'm just talking about literally if you were going to do this today. So understand the psychology of it. And as you stay connected with me, if the tactic changes, I'll tell you whatever the new tactic is when it changes. So you in good company, right? But let's say day two, to keep it simple for anybody that doesn't understand ads, you spend another $100 in ads, but now 140 come back, right? So you still got that 60 from the first day. Now you got 200, right? Because you made another one, what is this? 20, 40, 60, 80, 1. You made 140 on day 2. Boom, right? Now, day 3 comes. You spend 100. 20, 40, 60, 80. You spend 100, right? You spend 100, but you make 200. So you make your money back, plus you make another 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, right? So in 3 days, all you had was what? All you had was $300. But in 3 days, you made $400. So guess what you're going to do? All right, that money came through your Stripe, your PayPal, whatever your payment processor is. Now you got that money, right? So guess what? Okay, now they're starting to do payouts. So I can take that same money, 20, 40, 60, 80, 80, 100, yep, boom. Now it knows what I do. So when I spend 100, right, I make 2. 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82. Boom, right? This is how multi-millionaires do it. Just being real. All of the big famous people that you watch on social media with the Lamborghinis and the Rolls Royces and the people that make videos about I spend $100,000 a month, $1,000,000 a month, whatever they spend a month on ads, they're not lying to you. But what they may not be telling you is you thinking that they dug in their pocket and they pulled out the whole $1,000,000, right? Really, when you learn ads the right way, all right, average person makes $3 to $5 back. If you're making less than $3 to $5 back, then you're doing something wrong. It's either the ad, the offer, or the targeting with the ad, right? So you fix those things, or you partner with somebody that already knows what they're doing, so they jump straight to it. Now, nobody can, unless they're already working with people like you, nobody day one can tell you exactly what to do because the algorithm is changing even on the ad side, right? So that being said, if in 3 days, let's say today I only had $300 to my name, 3 days from now I made $400, right? The way I explained it to you, how I'm really just recycling the money, right? Okay, now that I got something that's winning, here's what they're gonna do. On day 5, right? Instead of saying every time we throw 100 in, we get 200, let's throw in the whole 4, right? Throw in 4, 8 come back. Okay, cool. Throw in another 4, 8 come back, right? Do you see how people can scale this up? Okay, now I throw in the whole 800, 1,600 comes back, right? That is how the people that I know, when I tell you that they're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in ads, they started off with $10,000. One of them started off with $7,000, right? So they took $7,000 and they ran ads for 7 days, and then they started recycling the money. And by the end of their first month, they had spent over $100,000 in ads, right? Now, where do you turn a profit though, right? So just to make sure we're clear, somebody used a great example. Somebody used the pest control service earlier. Shout out to you, whoever that was, right? So this is how it'll work in real life, right? Do I have a sheet of paper? I'm a visual person, so I like to write stuff down. But if I had a pest control service, all right, let's say, okay, I'm going to run ads to a $29 do-it-yourself pest control kit. All right. I'm going to go online. I'm going to do the research. I'm going to find how to source quality chemicals that I can private label. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. There's enough chemicals that do the job that already exist. I will go out and I would find chemicals that already do the job. I would private label them. I would slap my name on it. JT's Roach Stompers, JT's Pest Control. I'm sure you got a better name than that, right? But I'm just making this up. So I'm going to cut on ads. All right, I'm going to spend that $100 a day that I told you. All right, so I'm spending $100 a day in ad spend, right? But here's the real sauce. Instead of me trying to make $100 back off of selling a $29 thing, here's what I'm going to do. $29 is the front end offer. That means that when you see my ad on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on whatever social media you own, on TikTok, I'm advertising $29 do-it-yourself pest control kits, right? Now, who in the world would buy this? Well, I'm just freestyling with you off the top of the head. Again, this is for the person that use pest control. I'm just using your business as an example, right? Of course, I'm not doing a deep dive or researching your industry. So if we were to work together one-on-one, I would become even better than this. This is just straight off the dome. So straight off the dome, do-it-yourself pest control kit. Who am I going to target? I'm going to target hotels, all right, if especially if there are any ones that are locally owned, not big franchises, all right, because big franchises usually got more red tape, all right. I'm also going to look for restaurateurs, all right, same thing. Start off with the locally owned because usually the big chains got a lot of red tape, right? So that being said, I'm going to be targeting businesses where a pest literally takes money out of their bottom line. So I'm an Airbnb host. If you guys follow me on Instagram at JT Hustles, you'll see in my story today, I showed you guys several of my properties. One of them was my Airbnb, right? If you were to check into an Airbnb today and when you walked in, you saw a dead roach, what would be your first reaction? The average person would say, oh no, I'm not staying here. I just came in. There's a dead roach. Even if they only saw one roach, the average person is going to say, this place got roaches. There's no way it's just one roach. It's a roach infestation. I don't have roaches at my house. I don't want to stay here and somehow or another end up taking roaches home, right? So for somebody that is a real estate investor like me, right? Somebody seen any pest, but I'm just using a roach as an example. Spider, centipede, rodent, like a mouse, rat, whatever, right? But let's just stick with a roach, right? Having a roach is not just an inconvenience for somebody like me. It literally takes money out of my pocket, all right? So if I'm going to run ads, any product or service, right? I'm going to run ads to the people that need it the most. Somebody that just stays in a house and they got roaches, yes, they need a do-it-yourself pest control kit, but let's say that they used to living like that. They grew up in an environment like that. They like it's inconvenient, but it don't cost them no money. They just want them gone whenever, and they fishing around for the cheapest price because they low key used to them, right? You'll spend $100 a day targeting them people until you go broke. Those not the right people. So we gotta target the people that actually like our solution solves a pain point, a major pain point. So when I'm doing this to the pest control guy that's here, I'm gonna do a $29 do-it-yourself pest control kit. In the ad, I'm going to explain to them, on average, restaurants lose this much money, hotels lose this much money, Airbnb hosts lose this much money. I would go use like Claude, ChatGPT, DeepSeek, whatever LLM you like. I would pick one and I would use that to find the data, right? So I would find whatever the data is. I wouldn't spend a lot of time doing it when there's ChatGPT and other tools that'll help you do this research quickly. And I would create several ads talking to those people. One would talk to the restaurant owners. One would talk to the hotel owners. One would talk to the Airbnb hosts. Attention Airbnb hosts. On average, Airbnb hosts lose X amount of money a month or a year through pest-related complaints, right? For $29, get your own do-it-yourself pest control kit, right? Boom. That's what I'm advertising in the ad. Only to those people. If somebody that is not one of those ideal buyers decides to get it, cool. Am I going to spend any money or waste any time trying to get those people to buy with my ads? Absolutely not. So that's the $29 front end offer. But keep in mind, I'm spending $100 a day. Yes, I could possibly sell 4 of these a day and be in the green, but I don't want to live off of possiblies. So here's what I want to see right here. I'm going to have, again, these are the averages. 35% of the people, if I do this right, 35% of the people that actually see this are going to make it through the squeeze page, and I'm probably going to convert somewhere on cold traffic 3 to 5% of people. Let me use my calculator real quick on my laptop because y'all know I ain't that smart. So let's do it like this. If I run an ad and 1,000 people see it, right, 35% of them will make it through the squeeze page to the offer, and then we'll see. So if I say that's 350 people, and then 3 to 5 is the average, I'm going to split the difference and say 4. 4% of 350 people is 14 people. I'm going to take 14 people times 29. And if I do this right, what I should be making, right, is $406. That's what the averages are. Could you be below average? Yes. Could you be above average? Of course, right? But I'm going to just use the averages so we're on the same page. All right. If you're brand new and you don't work with anybody, you'll probably be below average. If you are experienced or work with somebody that is, you'll probably be average or above, right? So you spending $100 a day in ads, you should expect once you work out the offer, the ad, the targeting, all of that, blah, 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 you should expect on the front end a 3 to 5% conversion rate of the leads that make it through the squeeze page. That's $406 a day. That's not bad, right? That's not bad. But then on page 2, right, for easy math, all right, for anybody that doesn't know what a funnel is, I'm oversimplifying it. Then we're going to have a $99 seasonal pest control service. All right. So we're going to say, hey, look, it is this season. These are the most predominant pests in this season. And what we'll do is we'll do a service where we maintain your property over the next 90 days for X amount of dollars. I'm making up numbers here, but let's say that at this point I'll do $199, right? So for $200, what we'll do is we'll come check in every month and make sure everything looks good. You don't have any pest problems at your restaurant, at your hotel, at your blah, 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 whatever the case may be. All right, cool. All right, then I'm going to have one more sale as well. All right, this is going to be a contract where if they want us to work with them for the entire year, right? So let's say if they sign the entire contract, we'll give them that for $997 a year. All right. Now, I'm not going to do all the math and do all of the percentages here, right? But if I'm spending $100 a day and that $100 is bringing me back $406, right? What an amateur would do is say, shoot, let me go and put that money in my pocket, man. I'm good, right? What a professional will do is say, okay, I'm going to increase my ad spend because if $100 made me that much, how much if I gave them $400, right? So I'm going to give them the whole $400 this time, right? But if I give them the whole $400, how do I make any money, right? Well, I'm still going to provide them the service, even though I sold them the kit. So boom, $199 for the seasonal package, or they could pay $997 for the year and have us under contract doing this covers most common pests, right? Now, if you get something out the ordinary, like termites, like bed bugs, like squirrels in the attic, whatever, that's different. But boom, you'll have that. All right, now we could do this with any business. All right, I literally just picked the first business that somebody dropped in the chat, but we can do this with any business. So real quick, what I want you all to get out of this tonight is that I'm going to show you why sales feels harder than it actually is for most people. I'm going to give you guys a simple framework that I believe will help anybody get daily sales and how anyone can start using it immediately, right? So, but first, I need to explain why most people never get there, right? And I'm uploading a YouTube video, but I noticed that I haven't talked to you guys in almost a week. Things have been going great in business. But if you guys notice, I'm over here, right? I don't want, if my laptop goes to sleep, it provides a whole mess, right? So I'm over here trying to make sure this doesn't go to sleep while I'm still talking to you all. So forgive me for not staring at you the whole time. But your boy is always multitasking. All right. Let me make sure we ain't got no more questions though before I go to this. All right. I got a solar business but don't know how to do ads. All right, definitely we can help you. Right. Watch this video for free though. And then we'll talk. If you still need to work with somebody after this video, we'll talk about it, right? Boom, boom, boom. Oh, appreciate y'all. Got some veterans in here. Somebody said, I just saw a roach at the hotel I was at. All right, epoxy resurfacing is dope. Boom, boom, boom. Yep. We're gonna talk all things sales, right? I would say this, that if you can take away from this discussion tonight how to become a better salesperson, you could sell anything, right? You could sell airborne to a guy that's on live trying to upload a video and talk to his live family at the same time, right? You could sell whatever to whoever, right? I would say that sales is also dangerous because people that are great at sales, if they're not legal, ethical, moral people, they'll sell you something you don't even need. My grandmother was sold a car when she had dementia and Alzheimer's. And once the car salesman was made aware that she had dementia and Alzheimer's, he still was like, well, I got a contract. So I won't take the car back, right? Because my family was like, look, we have proof that she has dementia and Alzheimer's. She had dementia and Alzheimer's when she made this agreement. She agreed to make a payment. She didn't even earn enough money to make that payment. So what we're trying to do is give you back your vehicle, show you proof that she has this medical condition. And he still was like, nah, like a deal is a deal. Who's her power of attorney? Who's over her estate, right? So if you're that kind of person, go ahead and jump off now, right? Go ahead and jump off now. All right. So, and I'm not saying all car salespeople are like that. I'm just saying that's the true story of what happened with my grandmother, right? Even though my family, I was very young, but I remember this. So sales is so powerful that it doesn't matter if you're a good or bad person, you can make a lot of money selling stuff, right? So I'm telling you right now, if you somebody that's gonna use sales for evil, sales to finesse people, grandmas like my grandma got finesse, go ahead and jump off now. All right. The biggest lie about sales is not persuasion. Sales is guidance. Selling is not trying to convince somebody to get something that they don't want, right? You guys can hear me clearing my throat, and I done mixed my airborne with my Voss water because the weather don't know what it's want to do right now. So I'm about to be airborne up, right? So how hard of a sale is it? I don't know how much this costs. There's no price on it now, right? So how hard of a sale is it to sell airborne and water to a sick person? Very easy, right? I don't want to get sick. I like feeling well. I got a lot of stuff planned to do next week. All right. I got meal prep to do tomorrow. So I really don't want to be sick when I'm trying to do my meal prep at the church. All right. So, but you know, it would be extremely hard to sell me right now. A Xbox, right? A Xbox. So I don't play video games. Not a knock to you if you do, but I'm not interested in an Xbox. Even if you said I'm gonna give you an Xbox for $25 brand new in the box, I don't want it, right? So the best definition of sales that I ever heard in my life, and I want to share it with you, write this down. Sales is helping people get what they already want more efficiently, right? So sales is helping people get what they already want for their own reasons, just more efficiently. So I want to be healthy, right? And the people that make airborne don't care why I want to be healthy. The people that make Voss don't care why I want to be healthy. But they're like, hey, look, we help you get something you already want. Hydration or to feel better or blah, blah, blah. Does that make sense? All right. So sales is not persuasion. Sales is guidance. All right. I'm not convincing people to do things. The hardest you'll ever find it in business is when you're trying to convince people that don't want it or you don't know if they want it, right? It'll feel like pulling teeth. All right. So most people don't say no because they're broke. They say no because they're confused or because they're not the right list. Right. So, for example, my mom's a senior citizen. My mom, you probably could close my mom on a church dress and a matching wig any day of the week, right? You know what you can't close my mom on? A Lamborghini, a Ferrari, a Koenigsegg, any electric car, right? She just believe all electric cars are trying to kill you, right? So imagine imagine how hard it would be if you were going door to door trying to sell electric vehicles or solar or a sports car or anything like that to her, right? She's just not the right person. Meanwhile, I had a gentleman come to my media house while I was there recording some content that you guys will see in the future. And he was saying, hey, T-Mobile is now running lines in this neighborhood, and we're offering internet that is faster speed than your current internet provider, and it's also 30% cheaper. Guess what? Sign me up. All I do at this house is create content. So if you're going to give me internet that's 30% cheaper and more than double the speed, I'm the buyer, right? They didn't have to convince me. They didn't have to say, well, what about this? What if I throw in a bonus? What if I give you a gift card to this or that? Like, nah, I'm the right person. You have the offer that I need. It's a lay down sale. What most people do is they don't take the time to build the right list or to get in front of the right people, right? If you spend the time to build the right build the right list or get in front of the right people, you'll notice that selling ain't difficult. Selling is difficult when I don't know what you want to buy, or if you just straight up don't want to buy it and I'm trying to convince you to buy it. All right? So boom, Beats headphones. Some of you guys might be like, man, headphones is headphones. I'm not about to spend no above average amount of money for no headphones, right? But for me, and I used these back when I was editing, I don't really use them much now because I got editors that work for me. But I use these headphones and they were part of my business. I wanted to listen to all of my videos play back via the headphones. But let's keep going though. All right, I think you guys understand that point enough. All right. So from everything that I've seen in business, it comes down to these three things. All right. So this is why most people don't make daily sales. Tell me if any or all of these are true for you. They don't know what to do daily. They overthink everything. They quit before results compound, right? None of that requires talent to fix, by the way. So the simple sales loop, every sale I make follows the same loop, by the way, is I get attention. You can do that organically like we're doing now on social media. You can run ads. You could partner with the affiliate that already has attention, right? But you get attention. You start a simple conversation, right? You make a clear offer, which I'm going to give you guys an example of that. I'm literally going to make a clear offer at the end of this conversation with you, just so you can see the entire process, right? And I follow up the same way every time, right? Sales become easy when it becomes boring. How many of you all, if something became boring, you'll look for something else to do? Let's just be real. Giving the customer the most information you possibly can for them to make the most accurate and best option for their needs, right? I would say if that works in your industry, by all means, right? What I would say though is that you have to know your industry. In my industry, for example, which I'm in several, but let's talk about if you're going to be in online education sales. Great industry, bright future. If you know what you're doing, if you do it right, right? Everybody should get into it, by the way, right? My opinion. The more information you give, the less sales you make, right? And I'm just having a conversation with you. Please don't take it personal. If anybody disagrees with me, we're just having a conversation. All right, as somebody that has made millions of dollars in online sales, garnered hundreds of thousands of followers across various platforms, I can tell you from firsthand experience, if you're in the online education space, more information does not equal more sales. It's actually the opposite. The more information you give, the less sales you make, right? Buyer psychology in this industry says this: if you give me too much information, I have analysis paralysis. So now I feel overwhelmed by the information, right? So if you give them the most information you possibly can, now you've overwhelmed them. They have analysis paralysis. That sounds like a lot, or I have to do a lot, or whatever the case may be, right? That's one type of person, right? There's another group of people as well out there that they're not paralyzed by the information. They don't have analysis paralysis. They go to the opposite end of the spectrum. They say, this is simple enough. I understand everything that you're talking about. You know what? I don't need you, right? I don't need you. And if you are the proper mentor, which I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that you are, they do need you, because what they don't know can and will hurt them. All right? They think that it's tactics. They don't understand the belief. They don't understand the strategy of things. All right? Can I give you a real life example real quick? Can we keep it a buck? Let me see if I can pull this up. So, right here, very easy, first page of my sales funnel. And yes, my laptop is always dirty. It's a workhorse. All right? That's your boy. That's this, right? Do you know that some people may see this and say, it's okay. Some other people might see this and be like, looks kind of plain. But if I tell you, right, let's turn this back around for a second. If I tell you, hey, you need a sales funnel for your business. Remember how we did the example with the pest control company? All right. How many of them envision it looking like this, right? Now, this is also strategic. The language that's used, the colors that's used, the appearance that I have, the steps that they got to follow next, right? Now, could you just go to Google, go to YouTube, go to ChatGPT and say how to build a sales funnel, and it'll tell you exactly how to do it? Cool, right? But here's what a mentor will do for you, right? And here's why it's a problem if you give somebody too much information in the education space. Let's break it down. This is just page 1. It's an 8-page funnel. I don't have time to go through all 8 pages. All right. So right here, you need to have a bold headline. Boom. Right. Everything is above the fold. This is the entire page. Right. This is the entire page. We're going to add right here a little bit of text, but boom. They don't have to scroll to see anything. If you're not making sales daily, you don't own a business. Even if you hate selling, have no following, have no product, have never closed a deal, right? Learn the exact system that creates consistent sales without cold calling, begging, or chasing people, right? Then they click that, I want the sales system, right? What this is doing, right? Because yes, ChatGPT, Google, or whatever can tell you to make one of these. What this page is designed to do is not to sell anything. This page is to qualify the buyer. Here's why, right? You don't want unqualified buyers to be wasting your time or to buy something and you have an above average chargeback rate, right? So here's the value of having a mentor. Instead of having on some people's page, they'll have a form here and it'll say name, email address, and phone number. What we're going to do is we're going to add a button. Now, when they click the button, it's going to take them here. First name and email address, right? This is what we call a micro commitment. If they want to do this, then they're not going to be buyers anyway, right? Now, that kind of stuff is not usually taught if you just Google it, Chat GPT it, or whatever, right? So in some businesses and some industries, it's actually better to not give all of the information because here's what will happen. They'll still blame you even if they didn't work with you. They'll say, well, JT said I need a sales funnel. So I went to YouTube, I went to Google, I went to Chat GPT. It told me how to build one. I built it, it didn't work. JT lied, right? But in actuality, you built a sales funnel. You didn't build a good one. You didn't even know what pages you needed and why, right? You didn't know how to psychologically make the buyer commit, right? You had too much on the page or not enough on the page. You didn't know, and this is real talk. Then we'll keep going, all right? You didn't know not to ask for their phone number. Cold traffic, people that don't know you from Adam, they don't like giving out their phone number. You wanted their name, their email address, and their phone number because somebody, right? Maybe you even heard me say it because it's true, because phone numbers convert better, right? Texting somebody converts better than emailing somebody, which is true. But you don't know when to ask for the phone number. If you ask for the phone number in the beginning to cold traffic, 30% of your buyers leave. They don't know you enough to give you something that personal, right? Even though email gives you direct access to them, they just feel like a phone number is more personal than my email. So they're used to giving out their email all day, every day. But they don't give out their phone number that often, right? You had that one button there. You ain't think nothing, oh, that looks good, right? You doing stuff based off of looks. You don't understand that now. If you were supposed to get 100 buyers, congratulations, now you got 70, right? If you were supposed to get 10 buyers, now you got 7, right? Now, let's say you make a couple more of those little mistakes. Before you know it, you ain't getting no sales, but you still saying, well, I did what you said do. How? Right? So the whole reason why I give you guys that backstory is, like I said, if you got questions, drop questions, let's talk about it, is that you got to know your industry. Maybe in some industries, more information generates more sales. In the online education industry, more information actually reduces your sales, and even the people that don't buy still end up hurting your business because they'll say, I saw so-and-so say this, I went and did it with ChatGPT, with Google, with whatever, and you did do it, you just didn't do it right. I can throw a football. I can't throw a football like Tom Brady and become a multimillionaire from it. But if Tom Brady say you could become a multimillionaire by throwing a football, and I say, okay, instead of going learning from Tom Brady, I'm gonna watch a YouTube video and then I'm gonna go start throwing the football and I never make $1 million from it, is it Tom Brady's fault? Let's keep it going though. All right. I'm eating goji by the way. I don't like the taste at all, but they're supposed to be good for you. All right. So beginners struggle with sales because they think sales is about being smooth. Professionals know sales is about being consistent. I don't try to close everyone, right? Um, to work with me at the highest level right now, well, the highest level is closed, but the highest level that's available for purchase right now is $15,000, right? If nobody here wants to work with me personally at that level, that's perfectly fine. We're a 7-figure business on our way to 8 figures. I have a full staff that works for me every single day. I get 40 to 48 hours of value, productivity, income coming in every single day, whether somebody works with me or not, just because of how our business is structured, right? And I want you to be confident, even if you're not at that level of saying, I'm going to make money regardless because I'm making money regardless, understand this. You don't need their money. You might need money, but you don't need their money. What I mean is this, going a little bit deeper, is that don't try to cannibalize your offer and make something for everybody. There's somebody out there that would love to buy what you would love to sell, whether it's $10 or $10,000, right? Whether it's $100 or $1,000. All right. Now I'm not telling you to jack the price up to as high as possible just because you can, but if you know that you have something that is so valuable that you can help people make 10, 20, 30x more than whatever you charge for them, or they have that in perceived and actual valuable once they buy it, by all means. What makes a Revolto worth 600,000 to over $1 million, right? And makes a Honda $50,000, right? The Honda Ridgeline, right? So what makes a Honda 50,000, but you go over here and this car is 600,000. Both of them got four wheels. Both of them can get you from point A to point B, right? So what's the real difference in that? All right, it's how they're sold. One is sold on reliability, right? One is sold on, hey, look, man, that Honda, man, shoot, it's gonna last you for forever. All you gotta do, get the oil change, all right, keep it maintenance. It ain't gonna be no whole bunch of money. It ain't gonna give you no trouble. Hold it in the road, you good, right? Whereas a Lamborghini Revolto, you selling brand, you selling status. Nobody cares how many miles per gallon a Lamborghini gets, right? You don't sell them on miles per gallon. The buyers, the ideal buyers, right? You don't go buy a Rolls Royce because you want to know how reliable it is. You definitely don't buy no Ferrari or no McLaren because you want to know how reliable it is, right? Because they tear up more than a Honda, even though they cost 10x what a Honda costs. Because they're not sold to people to be daily drivers and you go 100,000 miles a year, right? It's the brand, it's the status. All right. So everything is sales. Here's why beginners struggle, right? We just broke that down. You just need to be consistent with it. All right. And don't try to close everyone. If you Honda, focus on Honda buyers. If you Lamborghini, focus on Lamborghini buyers. If you're anything in between, you guys get the point, right? Here's a truth bomb I got to throw on you. Confidence didn't come before sales for me. So I actually began my sales journey nervous, unsure, not even the most confident, right? Confidence came from sales. All right. Shout out to Erica Williams. I don't know if you guys follow her or not, but I would just do my business and then I would jump on YouTube and just tell people about the business. And then one day she was like, hey, look, you ever thought about writing a book? I was like, I don't know, writing no book. Like, she's like, oh, you should make a course. I was like, I don't know how to do that either. Like, I just know how to do the business that I do. I don't know how to do none of that other stuff. She was like, well, you should figure it out, right? And she moved on. And because I had so many people hitting me up saying, hey, I got this question, that question, I'm trying to redirect them to free YouTube videos or try to make time outside of working my business to make those videos. I said, you know what? I'm going to just write the book. Bump it. I'm going to write the book. I'm going to put it out. That'll stop the people that's asking. Either they'll buy the book or they won't. Either way, they won't bother me no more. And that'll be it. And the very first month, I dropped that book. It made more money than what my bills were. My rent, my utilities, my insurances, everything. Right? And I was like, I can't believe it. Right? I can't believe this actually worked. All right? I share that with you, just being completely honest, that you don't have to be confident prior to learning sales. I wasn't. I thought that making this book, right? And the book, by the way, is this book right here, The Drive to Freedom. All right. That book has went on to win book awards, still makes money to this day. But that's just an example of I didn't have to wait until I was ready. I didn't have to wait until I was fully confident. Now, I still created the best quality product I could, right? So it's not like, oh, I'm gonna just throw some junk together to get people off me. I still took the time, took me about a month. This was before AI and all of this other stuff, right? So it took me about a month or so to figure out how to write it. So did all of that stuff, all right, and put it out there, and man, it's been selling ever since. All right. So most people are guessing at sales. They're guessing what to say, who to talk to, when to pitch. All right. And what I've done to kind of remove the guesswork for the people that work with me is I came out with a program called Sales Made Too Simple. All right, it isn't motivation, it isn't theory, it's a step-by-step system designed so beginners don't get overwhelmed. All right, so who is this for, right? Because in your business, you need to always know who's your customer, who's not your customer, right? Who's it for, who's it not for. All right, so let's talk about who this is for. Service business owners that want to create and sell digital products, physical products, digital services, physical services. All right. So things of that nature. All right. Coaches, freelancers, creators. All right, anybody like that. If you want daily sales and clarity, this is for you. If you want magic or shortcuts, this is not, right? Just gonna keep it a bean with you. Just gonna keep it a buck. All right. The real goal isn't millions overnight. The real win is predictability, knowing what to do every day, knowing sales are coming, right? If you build it, they'll come is not necessarily real business. As you all may all very well know, you might already been in business for a while and have seen that it's different now, right? So you can't just pop out with a business and then people flood it just because it's a new business. All right. So we're just removing the emotional roller coaster that's tied to a lot of people with sales. So now let me address the first objection. I know some of you all are thinking, all right, so I don't have the money. All right. So I'll drop the link and you guys should go click the link underneath this video to take advantage of the sale that's going on now. Right. I think the price is like $150. And that's you guys' price. That's not the price that it is when we run ads because it costs us a lot of money. Like I told you guys, we're spending $30,000 a month on ads. So of course the offer has to make sense as well, or else we'll be upside down. All right, but let's still say somebody says, I don't have the money, right? I have a sales problem. Let me break this down simply for you. All right. If this training helps you make one $100 sale or two $50 sales or five $20 sales, it pays for itself, right? And that's a skill that you can use and apply over and over and over and over again. I'm also going to be doing updates to the program, and any and all updates that I do to it, your grandfathered in for life, right? So all you got to do is stay logged in. I'm also going to shoot you a text, shoot out an email, and I'm going to talk about it here on this channel as we make updates as well. So you're not going to be able to not know what's going on. All right. And the truth is, not buying this costs more than buying it. If you are somebody out there that is not a seven-figure entrepreneur, but you want to make at least seven figures in the life of your business or seven figures in a single year, right? Then this is a no-brainer because the real cost is another month of guessing, another month inconsistent, another month frustrated. This is not evergreen, right? I'll just be honest with you. All right, the offer is going to close soon, within the next couple of hours for tonight. All right, so I want you all to understand that, like I said earlier, that it doesn't take confidence to succeed. It takes a willingness to succeed. So the system that I'm going to break down for you, it does not require tech skills or ads, right? A personality change, right? If you can follow instructions, you can make sales. Simple as that, right? The works because it's simple, not because it's genius. And the only real requirement is this. All right, do the daily actions even when it feels boring. All right, So this is how sales are built right now, right? You either protecting comfort or you building a skill. You got to decide which one is best for you. All right. So the sales made too simple. One-time investment is down in the description below. It's only $150 if you act now. All right. You're going to get the most beginner-friendly sales framework ever built. All right. It's going to break down all the action steps you need, whether you're going to make money any of the three ways. Let's be real. Three ways you can make sales in this world: organically, right? Just guerrilla marketing, word of mouth, organically posting on your social media, doing low cost, no cost things. You could do paid advertising, billboards, bench signs, online ads, right? So you can do organic, you can do paid, or you can do it affiliate, right? You partner with somebody and have that person, all right, have that person sell on your behalf, right? Imagine if you were a singer and you could get Beyonce to say, hey, you were an amazing singer, all right? Now, you were an amazing singer before she said that, but because Beyonce is who she is, right, now your career took off. Whereas you could have just been an amazing singer on YouTube the rest of your life and never got discovered. All right. So we understand that the only three ways to really make money in sales is either organically, through paid ads, or through affiliate sales. And we recommend for you to do a combination of all three, just not at the same time. So you can stack them up. Do one, add the second, add the third one based off of the desires of your business, right? If you want to make money the fastest, paid ads, right? If you want to have a framework where you have a high LTV, but you have more runway before you start needing to have money come in, organically, right? If you need to have a quick burst of sales, like a quick, big burst of sales, and you got the money, affiliate marketing. Simple as that. All right. Are we clear on that? Anybody got any questions? Right? Anybody got any questions? You're going to have lifetime access to it as well. All right. And if you guys got any questions about making any sales in your business, drop it down now. Also, down the link description, if you're not in our free Telegram, every single day in Telegram, we drop a detailed strategy of a way to make money with more of this, less of this, right? More mindset, less labor. All right. We tell you what the problem is, who has it, how much to charge, what's the solution, how to create it, all step by step. And then if you need to talk to somebody further about it to get assistance, right, we give you the opportunity to reach out to me or a member of my team. I got 3 full-time video editors. I have 2 full-time software developers or tech staff with me, and I got a project manager that also is an ad specialist as well. So he manages the entire team, but he also manages our ads as well. All right. So I've built a winning team to get to 7, and then we'll say 8 when we get to 8. But I'm confident that this team is definitely a strong team to get me there. You don't have to get rich alone, and I don't recommend that you get rich alone, right? Don't recommend it. I haven't gotten rich alone. The most successful people in the world haven't got rich alone, and you don't have to do it either, all right? I don't see any more questions, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. You got until midnight to take advantage of the offer. Link down in the description below. Remember, I love you. God love you. As long as you keep God first, he'll take care of you in all areas of your life, and I'll see you in the next one.